Happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's review daily stock market end of day update. This morning pre-market, we were here near neutral line. These are the zones, and I told my subscribers we are here and monitor these zones. Around 4,300, I said this is a good target to kind of start going long. And you can see from neutral zone to around 4,300, we had around 0.57% downwards trend. And around here, I told them these are the levels you should be looking to buy. So I think we are right now where we were in the morning. We got dip, we bought, and we are holding this because we are right on the support. These are all support trend lines, and we closed right where we bought it. And I'm looking for a pump, and at minimum, I'm looking for very soon a pump up to at least neutral line, and or if higher, around 1% pump from here. We're right now sitting around 42.80 on Nasdaq. Also, we are same thing here. We were here. I told them these are the levels to watch, and we could dump here, and then we bought again between these lines, and now we're holding it here. And I think you can see futures are already pumping. I think there's still more room to go from where we are now. It's almost 10 p.m. Eastern, and I think neutral line is around 3%, 0.3%, and we can even go up to 1% pump to the sell zone. All right. So these are the trades I'm looking for, and you can join if you want pre-market and in the middle of the day afternoon update. I share it with my subscribers, and you can see now. Let's go to daily chart and let's try to see what's happening here. And let's try to add. Let's try to go with Bitcoin, and let me add some moving averages here. And let's see what's going on here. You can see on Bitcoin we are holding this support, this vertical support. You can see very nicely the support is being held, and also there is this trend line here, white trend line. Both of them are holding. The only issue is I got this red sell signal yesterday. I shared with my subscriber, and let's quickly zoom in. PPO is still holding, green line is still holding above red line, so it is possible we can still get a pump. If we get a crossover, then that's not a good sign. That could be a bit bearish. But and also we have a red sell dot here, and also we are slightly now moving under this white trend line. Okay, so we got to be very careful on Bitcoin. And you can see now the last hope is this support, this green. Right now we're trying to go under this support. So this support is anywhere from where we are now around 26 to all the way down to around 25. Okay, so 26 to 25,000, there is a big massive support. And I really want to see, if you want to be bullish, you want to see a green dot very soon, and you don't want to see this crossover green line going below red line. I think we might get that by tomorrow. We'll see if we stay red. But if we get a pump on S&P 500, which I will show you soon, I think this skill will be negated, and I think green line can still stay above the red line. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So tomorrow will be very key for Bitcoin. It's below all moving averages. You can see there are 4 moving averages. There's this 200 SMA, 50 SMA, and then 50 EMA, red and yellow line, and also there is this white line and green line, which is 20 EMA and 10 MA. Okay, so this is below all the moving averages, which is not good. I really want to see a pump back on this white trend line, and then back above this daily 50 and 50 SMA and 50 EMA. All right, so this is right now, as of now, around 26,800. And so far Bitcoin is back on support, so you should be looking to buy on support. The only issue is I have red dot, so let's wait for a green dot before you buy. Like this here, we got a green dot, and if you bought even after getting a green dot, you could have made easily around 7% here. All right, so let's wait for a green dot, and then you can trade Bitcoin. Ethereum is actually a bit weaker, and Ethereum actually, if I zoom in, you can see green line is still above red line. You can see it slightly crossed below here around 12th of September, but then it came below above this trend line again. And we do have a red dot here, which is a sell signal, but you can see RSI turning green. So Ethereum is holding pretty good compared to Bitcoin. And also it's back on this support. So you can see this whole area here. This is anywhere from 1668 to 1570, and also you can see this white trend line. So you can see multiple tags of this trend line, 1, 2, 3, and it's still holding. So this is back on this support. So if it holds it here, that's a good time to buy. You should be looking to buy on support, and if you want to be very, very careful, you want to be conservative, you can wait for this green dot to happen. Once you get green dot, you can buy again. All right, so that's on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's go to S&P 500. Let's go to SPY, and I'll show you something very interesting what happened today. And let me go to 1 hour chart, and let me hide these indicators. Okay, let's go with this daily chart first. Okay, you can see what's happening here. you can see we are now finding support right on this 200 SMA. Okay, this blue line is 200 SMA, and then this dark blue line is 200 SMA. We're finding support right there. We closed right on there, and we had a gap down. All right, so let's go to 1 hour chart and let's hide this regular trading hours. Let's hide these moving averages. You can see what's happening here. We gapped down. So we were expecting a rally, but this morning they gapped down. So there's another gap now. So now you can see how many gaps are here. All right. Let me zoom out a bit. So all these yellow lines are gaps, which will be filled to the top side. Okay. So just remember, this could be a painful time right now, short term, but eventually first gap 1%, second gap 3%, fourth gap 5%, and the final gap is 7%. We can get easily more than 7% pump by the end of this year. If you can hold, you can be patient. If you can hold, if I go to daily chart, I think we can even go beyond this previous high, even go to new all-time highs. Okay, so just be patient if you're holding. And also the other thing is, if you go to 1 hour chart, you can see what's happening here. You can see we started to get some divergence here. All right, so you can see here PPO. Okay, here you can see some divergence on PPO and also some divergence on RSI. You can see, so we're going down on higher momentum on PPO and RSI. Sorry guys, I had to pause it a bit. Okay, so you can see so multiple gaps here, and if I go to daily chart, you can see we are now very close to this gap fill. Let's go to one. Okay, this gap is here. So this gap from today's close is around 1% away. So still a little bit of gap, but we are due for a bounce because 1 hour chart has so much divergence are happening. And if I also this whole area, let's try to see this whole area. Let's try to draw a box here, and we can see if I draw a rectangle box where we are right now. You can see here actually where we are here. I'm going to make it a bit green here so you can see it properly. You can see this whole area here. Sure, we can come a little bit more lower, but this previous high here, you can see if I even go further down, switch here, you can see this whole area, a lot of confluence here, and that's where we are right now. Okay, so I'm expecting this to bottom here somewhere and then looking for a rally. Okay, so depending on how fast this rally is going to be, it's either going to be filling this gap, then coming down to fill bottom gap and go high, or it's just going to go straight. If it goes above this, it's going to start making higher lows and then go to all-time highs. Okay, so my point is these are the levels, these are the times you want to be bullish. Okay, when people are freaking out, when there are news about recession and everybody in their neighbor and everybody is freaking out, this is where you want to be bullish. This is where you want to buy. Okay, this is not where you get scared and be like, okay, everything is falling and I don't want to buy anything. Okay, so these are the opportunities when people are scared, should be looking to buy. So from our previous highs to now, SPY is almost 7.5%. Okay, let's go to triple Qs and I'll show you something also very interesting. You can see this low here. It's right in the support here. Okay, you can see same thing here, same story here. I think triple Qs is also on this nice support here. And if I extend this here, you can see same thing here. Okay, a lot of confluence here right on the support, and you can see even on 1 hour chart we again gap down. Let me delete this green line now so you guys already know. You can see we already have a gap down, 1 gap, 2 gap, 3 gaps, 4 gaps, 5 gaps. Okay, so triple Qs from here, first gap is 1%, second gap is 3%, third gap is 6%, fourth gap is 8%, and final gap is almost 9%. Okay, 9% upside if you can just hold from now till November, December. Okay, so why you're worried, right? Like, okay, I'll just go with primary count, which I think from here is possible. I think we're gonna fill this gap, maybe make slightly lower low and then go high, but doesn't need to be like that. Okay, so or we can just go highs from here and start back testing it. Okay, back test this trend line. So let me zoom in, extend this trend line. Okay, we can even back test this. Okay, and then that will be a divergent high on PPO and RSI, and then we sell off maybe next year. Okay, but for now, let's go with this. Let's go with an impulsive bounce very, very soon on triple Qs. That should fill some of these gaps and then make a higher low or lower high in October and then go to new all-time high. Okay, so this is my preferred scenario. And let's quickly go to Dow Jones DIA ETF again here. Still, I think everything is going. Oh, let's bring in moving averages just to see where we are now. You can see it's below 200 SMA, all the moving averages. So very, very oversold. Like you can see, we have divergences on all the indices. You can see RSI going higher, PPO, not a lot of divergence here. But you can see on RSI, we started to build some divergence. And again, multiple gaps. So same thing here, looking for a lower high and then go high. IWM, keep selling like anything. So I think it can do. IWM, I think, is going to be the weakest of all indices. And let's go to 1 hour chart and see if there are any divergence. You can see even on IWM, we are getting some divergence. So all indices are showing divergence. You can see PPO here, RSI here. Divergences are happening throughout the board. And you can see looking for a rally, short term, fill this gap, make a new higher low, and then go higher from here. All right. So this is my preferred scenario. And let's go to also a weekly chart just to show you on NDX what I'm. Let's bring in those moving averages. And here you go. And let's bring in that indicator. There you go. And you can see here we are between red line and green line, and you can see we are very close to the bottom. So bottom of this red line is from today's close, around 2% away. It doesn't need to go to the bottom, okay? But this is where we should be bottoming. So worst case, we can still go 2% away and then bottom. But these are the green lines where most likely 95% of the time this should be bottoming in a bull market, okay? So we're very close to bottom. Just want to make sure you guys understand. Do not be too bearish here. This is where you want to be going long. You don't want to be shorting here right now, okay? And let's quickly go to other sectors. Gold selling off. You can see again on this big resistance here, now selling off. There's a gap here, 1870. That's my target. Fill this gap, then go higher. Silver on this nice support trend line. Let me get rid of this indicator. You can see right now here, right nicely on this support line. Again, just came, touched the support line. This is where you want to buy silver. Perfect time to buy silver, in my opinion. Natural gas holding this trend line very nicely. Look to buy all the dips on this trend line. Crude oil, again, on this massive resistance zone. Trying its hard. Every time it sells off, tries hard again to go to this resistance. So look to buy around here. Sorry, look to sell around here. Do not look to buy. This is where you should be looking to short. Dollar index breakout. Dollar is looking like it's breaking out, but if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see we have some divergences are building up. You can see dollar is going higher and momentum is going lower. You can see price is going higher on PPO and RSI. Also, momentum is going lower. So this is a concern on. You can see even here. You can see prices going higher with the RSI going lower. So this is an indication momentum is going lower on dollar. And if dollar sells off, that's going to be very, very bullish for stock market and Bitcoin and gold. All right. Article Bitcoin. And let's quickly look at tech stocks. Apple down, but you can see we can move this support slightly here. You can see this previous low here, slight here. So you can maybe adjust it a bit. But again, I'm looking for a rally on Apple. And if I go to 1 hour chart again, we have a gap down here. So again, all tech stocks, if I go to short term, my indicator, all of them are in buy zone. Tesla, again, holding this trend line very nicely. You want to buy on support. So very close to support trend line. Microsoft, again, on this buy zone. So you can see same thing, undercut a little bit previous low. And if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see some divergence, not on PPO or RSI, showing some divergence here. But yeah, this is where you want to buy all these tech stocks. You want to buy tech stocks when everything is selling. You don't want to buy when everything is green, all right? Google, again, on this support box. So I maybe make it a little bit lower. This is the whole area of support. Meta, it looks like it filled the gap. So this morning gap is filled, so we can get rid of this yellow line. And let's go back to daily. Facebook, again, you can see this. I don't know what kind of structure it's making. It's like a weird structure here. But looks like there's some support here. So let's try to add a rectangle here. You can see this whole area. This whole area is support. So coming very close to support line. Let me get some indicator here so you can get some better analysis. You can see it's still above 50 SMA, this yellow line, EMA, sorry, this yellow line is stuck between It's like just stuck between 50 SMA and 50 EMA, red line and yellow line. So it looks like it's just like making a high low. Is it like flag? Could be possible, and it's ready to break out. Okay. Amazon, let me hide this indicator so we can see it clearly. Again, massive sell-off, 4% because of some news with some agency kind of suing them or something like that. But again, use this opportunity to buy. And if I go to 1 hour chart, do we have any divergence? You can see PPO and RSI divergences are here. I think Amazon is one of the stocks you should be looking to buy. If you, out of all, Amazon is down almost 14% from all-time high, previous all-time high here in September. So look to buy. Yeah. Netflix again starting to show some divergences. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see nicely divergence on PPO and RSI. And again, multiple gaps, same scenario with all tech stocks looking for a bottom very soon. Snowflakes, also same thing, same scenario. NVDA also looking for a pump, and AMD also looking for a pump. Multiple gaps happening here. All right. Bonds, again, divergences, new low. TLT is what you should be looking to accumulate here. There are some divergences happening, but if you ask me, I would rather buy tech stocks instead of bond because there is more upside in tech stock. Copper in the buy zone, right where you should be looking to buy, right where this is where you should be looking to buy copper. Nothing else to say here. Palladium also in the buy zone. You can see bullish falling wedge with higher momentum on PPO and RSI. Look to buy palladium also here. Wheat. Also, you can see bullish falling wedge with higher momentum on PPO and RSI going down and then broke out, back tested this top trend line, again made a higher high, and then again now just again doing a back test here. All right. Corn, you can see here PPO is going higher. All right. Making a new low with high momentum on PPO and RSI. So looking like it's getting ready for a pump, but these are all levels you want to accumulate, right? Okay, you don't want to accumulate at the top here, you want to accumulate here at the bottom. Soybeans also in the buy zone. Okay, nothing to say here. Sugar also looking for a back test of this trend line and then making a new high later on. All right, so KN is that ETF if you want to buy. Gold miners and Newmont mine. You can see Newmont mine. If you go to 1 hour chart, this gap is filled, so I can delete this. So it's back on this support and multiple gaps upside. So Newmont mine is again back on the support zone. Gold miners GTX fill this gap, so you can delete this. Okay. So there's not a lot of gaps now down. So I think GDX is almost. Oh, one more gap is here. Looks like. $26, so it is possible it can come a little bit more lower and then go higher, but it's at the bottoming phase. Gold miners. Let's quickly look at XLK. Again, same thing as Apple. Multiple gaps on XLK. So most of the, I think 20% on XLK is Apple. So look to buy XLK or Apple. If you're scared on Apple, you can buy XLK. It has only 20% of Apple and all of the tech stocks. XLE, look to buy. This should be bottoming, looking for a new high here. XLV, very close to this trend line. So a little bit more there downside and then bounce. XLU utilities also again in the buy zone here. And let's go to 1 hour chart. Looks like we might have filled some gaps. So delete this. This gap is also filled. And there's also already a gap here. So actually I'm going to delete this previous. So it's a bit clear here. So delete this box. Let's go to daily chart. You can see here again on this support trend line, support box, XLI industrial, again a gap down here. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see gap down. But again, looking for this pump to happen on industrial stock, fill some of these gaps, make a higher low, a lower low, and then go for a massive pump to the new year. Real estate sector, wow, it's like selling off like anything, very, very bearish. But again, now, actually, I'm going to delete this because this doesn't matter anymore. If I go to 1 hour chart, still gap down today. So let me delete this also. So I think it's back on this support box, this big, you can see previous lows here. So we can try to make a support here out of this. Back in support, okay? So real estate sector right where it should be. Finding, you can see you can see a lot of data here, a lot of confidence here. It should be looking to bottom here. Financial sector, oh, it's bottoming. It's broke down a bit. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Did it gap down? Yeah, it did gap down. So again, on 1 hour chart, we have divergences. So it looks like all sectors sold off heavily. There's a little bit of gap here, so maybe it will come a little bit more lower before it goes higher. Let's see. Yeah, it is possible, but I think it's oversold short term. So I do expect a rally short term, like short term rally, fill some of these gaps and then come down and then go higher, all right? Something like this. KRE down 1.56%. Again, there's a gap here, looking for that gap to fill around 39.69 and then go higher. And let's see anything else. Shopify down 3.86%. Looks like it wants to fill this gap to the downside before it can go higher. So even from here, this gap is around 9% away. So let's see if it does that. And what else is here? Let's see. China Hang Seng Index. Let's try to find that here. Again, as long as it's below this resistance box, I'm not going to be bullish on China. So let's wait for it to go back above 18,600. But you can see it's making divergences now. So there are signs of bottoming coming soon. You can see RSI divergence. You can see PPO starting to divergence. Here you can say new low with PPO with higher momentum. So looks like China's getting ready for a pump just because of these divergence, but wait for, you can also draw a trend line like this. If you want to be very careful, you can draw a trend line, wait for this trend line to break, okay, at minimum. So if it breaks around, let's say 18,000, you can buy China. With China means MCHI, that's the ETF which replicates that. There's also Alibaba, Baidu, they all gonna go together, all right? Okay, guys, I think that's about it for today. And I think I'm expecting a bounce short term. Let's look at VIX. Wow. Let's go to 1 hour chart on VIX and see if there are any gaps on VIX. There's this gap. No, this was $15, just an indicator. I don't see any gaps. All gaps are filled. Actually, there's one gap here on VIX. So I'm going to add a line here because most gaps are filled. So I'm just going to make it a different line. Gap here. Okay. So I think VIX can drop very soon to fill this gap at minimum 10% down. And yeah, I think that's the only gap on VIX. So if I go to daily chart, massive pump, which I was expecting. So I'm going to delete this now. So I'm looking for a little bit of cool down now. All right. So at least fill this gap, and that will be better for S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100. Okay, guys, thank you. If you're still here, please hit the like button on your way out. And if you want those updates, there's also a Discord channel group in the description of this video. You can click and join. It's free to join in that server. You can chat with me directly. And yeah, I wish you all the best and happy trading. Bye.